Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Asian report for the 8th of May, and starting with the daily chart here. Our count hasn't changed. We've had a bit of a gap within in here based on US news, but I still really need to stick to this particular count here. I mean, we've got this is a nice clear correction here in 3 waves. So we should be looking at 5 waves moving up through here. And we have 1 which is clear, and 2 and 3 which is clear. 4 here, it has come down too far. It has overlapped wave 1. So technically that would be a problem there. But I think we'll just, if that low stays in play here, then we'll stay with this. But otherwise, the only other count that this could be at this stage here would be that this would be an A wave here, an A and a B and a C for a B wave here, and then a C wave coming down here further, and then we would have to put this wave 4 over here. So let's just see if this low stays in place here and the market moves back up. If it moves back up and finds support on 6,300, then we can start looking at long trades again, and we can get back up into this space up here. So it's not a perfect world. So the only error I can see here is that we've got a slight overlap with wave 1 and wave 4 here. So that's the only sort of rule broken. So let's just see if that that low stays in place here. If not, then we would need to look at some other count, but just can't sort of get my head around this. Just not fit. I mean, even as an expanded flat, if I put wave 4 over here, that move up there as a B wave up there is really quite high above here. Yeah, so and if that's the case, as an expanded flat, we would have an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave to come down below this move, below this wave 4 here, down here somewhere, back into the 6,000 sort of area through here. So I know that the S&P is down over 1.5%, but it's also displaying. If we can just have a quick look at the S&P for a moment. I've got 2 counts with the S&P. I've got the count where we have the same as the Australian market as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and as long as that low stays in place and we get support back up here, then we can finish this structure off here for this. But I've got another structure where this wave 3 is already sitting on here, and I'll go into the wave 4-hour chart to have a look at. So it's been a bit gappy, and I thought we may have had a low in here where we have had the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave to here, and then we're looking for it came back up 61.8%, and then it's dropped again, but it's dropped down here in 5 waves. So I'm looking for it to get back up on. If it gets back up on the 29, that's good. But this structure here could still open up to a larger structure too, by the way. So if we've got wave 3 up, sitting up here for this, then the 38.2% retracement level is much further down here with this at 38 down here. So you can short new lows here. This can be counted in a few ways on the bearish side. I won't go into that at the moment, but yeah, it's really all about, will this market now find support on 2,900? If I come into the tick chart here for a moment, I mean, this is just splitting hairs here, but from the low here, I can see that we've got 5 waves up here. So that breathes a little bit of hope into the situation. I mean, it still can be an A wave up here, a B wave here, and a C wave to here, and fail from the 2,900 and then move down from there. So we need to be wary of that. But if we can get support above the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree here on the 2,900, which is also the 38.2% retracement level, then we're in business and we can go up from that point. So certainly look to short below 28.72, and of course that would drag rest of the markets down as well. So getting back to the Australian market for a moment here. Yeah, so that's sort of how I'm looking at it here at the moment. So if I don't need to go to the 4-hour chart, probably don't even need to go to, okay, this is the 1-hour chart here. So, yeah, I've got it. I mean, I had this gap in here, which I couldn't count in here, so it made it a little bit difficult. I thought we may have, from this low here, I thought we may have had 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, and coming back for an ABC 50-60% back, but it still didn't get back up onto 63 here and through group 1 here as supports. But counting it down here as a corrective wave, as an A wave here, a B wave here, and wave 1 here, 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 here. Wave 4 is quite high, so I don't know if that's correct as well. And then 5 waves down here. So it's possible that we've got a low here. I mean, all this structure fits into a nice ABC pattern here now for wave 4, even though it's a bit low. So I've tried to pull it apart as best I can. That's on the 1 hour. Normally we look at the 100 ticks, but I've been working through it on this chart here, which is, let me just squash it in a little bit, which is 20 ticks here. So yeah, like I said, I couldn't pull this here. I thought that we may have had 1 here and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here and 5 here to this, but because I can't count in here, maybe we've got a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 in here. It's just a little bit difficult to count here. I can count 5 waves down here, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So it's possible that we've got a low in here. So it's okay to short this low here, okay? Otherwise, we'll start climbing back up through here. We'll just have to see how that pans out. I can't really add more than that to it. I certainly wouldn't want to see this wave 4 come any lower here or on the US markets as well. The trade war thing with stupid Trump. Let's just have a look at China here for a second. So with China here too, we can have a top in play here for China as well here, because a little bit difficult to count here, but it does appear that we've got 5 waves up to this point here. So I'm just assuming that we've got an A and a B and a C. It could be more bullish, and we only have 3 waves here, but we're going to keep an eye on this now, because this we could look at as wave 1 and 2 here. We could look at it as an A and a B and a C down to here, and we can go further up from that point. But if this establishes itself as this here with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, if we get this over, then we'll keep an eye on this from Thursday and Friday, and we'll look at it again, because if we get 5 waves here, then we're going to get a corrective move here, and then we're going to get another 5 coming down through to here, and at least we could look down to this point here at the 50-60% retracement level, which is down in this space here. So it's quite possible for this market to move down here, and if that's the case, that's also going to tell us that that these markets, that China's still under pressure from comments, from loose comments from Trump. So just to go back to the ASX200 here, let's just to recap here, let's just, on the hourly chart, let's just see if we can keep this low in place here. I mean, even as a bearish market down through here, the other point that sort of bothers me here is that if we're going to go lower, then this could be counted as wave 1 here. This can be counted as wave 2, and then we would have 5 waves here for wave 3 here, wouldn't we? And then if that's the case, then wave 4 would pull back into the 38.2%, which is this greyed out box here at the 63. So this is where it could fail from here. And if we get 5 waves down here of 1 and 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 here, and 5 here, then we've got a bigger correction coming in at that play. So then we would have 3 waves back up here, and then we would have another 5 waves down here. So it's kind of careful. It's very important what occurs next here in this space. So I'm not going to call any trades here for the moment, but if we get support back on the 6.3, we can go from that point. It's likely that, I mean, when I first look at this here as wave 1 here and wave 2 here, it does appear that that the 5 waves are not finished, but on the tick chart it pans out like that. But if I just take this top here and this low here, then the 38.2% retracement level is here. So this, at first sight and visual terms here, 1 and 2 and 3 here and 4 here to the 38.2%, and then down 4 waves. I mean, looking at the S&P being down, 1.67%, then, it's likely that this can come down as well. But the futures market is pushing up, so we'll just see. But yeah, so I don't really have any clear answers at this stage for this market. If we have a look at India now. With India here, we're still looking at a bullish market. The fact that this move up here took this top out here, then it still could be a big B wave up here, as an A wave here, a B wave up here, and an expanded flatten down to here. But we just need to see how this pans out. We've been looking for, well, wave 3 and wave 4 was unfolding, and that's the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree and also the 38.2% retracement level. So there may be a little bit more involved here, but we're certainly at those current levels there now. So any move back above the 11,500 here as the medium level, that would also trigger long trades. So if I just go to the hourly chart and pick up this little section in here, this is how it can pan out here now. An A wave here, and then an A and a B and a C wave to here for the B wave, and then 5 waves down here. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So we've got an extension in the 5th wave here. It looks a little bit like a wave 3 here, so we need to be careful. So what we can do here is we can take this top here, this low here, and the 38.2% retracement level is just below the 11,500. So if the 11,500 becomes the retested resistance, then we can short again. But so if this was going to, I mean, it counts as 5 waves here, so I can put wave 5 of C of 4 here, but that may not be correct. We may still be, it may be down for 1, back for 2, and then down for 1 of 1 smaller degree, back for 2, down for 3, back for 4, and down for 5 here, and then back for 4 again, and then back down there for 5 again here. So what we can do here is we'll take part profit, because we were short, we were either going to go short here or long up here. So if you triggered short, that's cool. So take part profit here, and we're going to get a retest here. Okay, so if this comes down again through this low here or very close to it, we can look to short again at that point. Okay, so we can put that down under that low here, and then we'll keep the stop there. If support is found on 11.5, then we'll have to get out of this trade, but otherwise we can pretty much stay short but lock a little bit of profit in here for the time being. It should move with the rest of the market, so I would assume, because it moved down with them, so it can also move up with them as well. But it can count as an A and a B and a C wave to this point here, but it's still open to go further down. If we look at this as wave 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 and 3 here, and 4 and 5, so 5 waves from here. So 5 waves coming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to here for wave 3, and then we'd still have this here, so 1 and 2 and 3 to here, and 4 to here, and 5 to here. So that's on the cards as well. So there's two things that can occur here. But if we just take the next logical step, then what we should do is take profit here, wait to see if it fails at the 11,500. If it fails, then we can look to short again. If it finds support here, then we need to move out of the short trade, and then we need to move into long trades once we've got support on 11.5 there. So nothing special in terms of analysis here. It's just really taking the next logical step in terms of moving in and moving out of the markets. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.